Shemai, welcome to another Welsh language catch-up with Pure West Radio and Learn Cymraeg Pembrokeshire. My name's Tom Dyer, I'm the early breakfast show host on Pure West Radio, and I am up to Uned 27, Unit 27 of Learn Welsh, which means that we are so close to the end, which is really upsetting. But it also means that we're getting into the nitty-gritty, as you found out last week, if you've watched the video. If you need to catch up on YouTube, they're all in one handy to go to playlist. So have a look at the Learn Welsh Pembrokeshire playlist. This week, the hardest thing that we had to do was try and decipher the family tree. Because we were looking at who was someone's uncle or brother or sister or dad. And then Richard on the Thursday came up with the Simpsons family tree as well. And the way that these sentence structures work, as we'll see when we're asking questions as well, is that the answer isn't necessarily in the order that you think it should be in because of how we construct sentences in English. And on Duolingo, it's the same section that I'm on over there by chance. And there's a question, I'm not even going to attempt to in Welsh because I keep forgetting it, but the female doctor is Megan or something along those lines. And the way that you need to construct the sentence is the wrong way round, if that makes sense. But when you're in it, it does make sense because, so Mam Sian Dwi is the example I've got on the page here. So because it's Dwi, we know that it's me, I'm. Mam Sian. So the mum of Sian, am I, is the English translation for what's being said. So Mam Sian Dwi, Brawd Sian Dwi, I'm Sian's brother. And auntie or uncle, there is a wither, which is in there. So Sian Dwi, I'm Sian's uncle. So you say what you are first, then the person you're referring to, and then am I is the roundabout kind of construct that we're doing it. And then asking questions. So Beth yw enw dy dad di. We've done this before. So this is very much a revision part of the conversation. Beth yw enw dy frawd di. What's your brother's name? And Beth yw enw dy partner di. And of course after dy, there is a soft mutation, which is why partner becomes partner. And brawd and frawd, that's where the soft mutations come in. So getting those sentences around your head are difficult. And in the help flow, they talk about it again because we need to know when we need to use the word the. Because we don't use it all the time, but we do need it when we're talking about the price of the petrol. So beth yw pris petrol, beth yw vrif ti, how much, what is the number of the house, Beth yw enw'r ti, and of course Beth and yw go together, as opposed to sit my. And Beth yw enw'r dre, what is the name of the town? So you've got the in there, or it's an apostrophe R, or it's a YR, depending if there's a vowel immediately after it. So some of the rules you need to remember if you're writing it down. If you're talking, you can generally get away with it, which is kind of what we're learning now. It's that conversational type of Welsh. But if you're just talking about the price of petrol in general, it's just beth yw pris petrol. There is no the in that one at all. Or beth yw pris Cymraeg. What is the price of the Welsh course? If you book in June, I believe there's going to be a discount again, so keep your eyes peeled on the courses coming up in September. And beth yw pris cyfrifiadur. So we don't need the unless we are looking at something in the room, and then we go beth yw pris cyfrifiadur. You can kind of point to it in your head, that one. And it stays that way. And the rules then, when it comes to whether you need the or not, depends on whether you are, so beth yw vrif a car, beth yw, hang on, that's not right, so the Welsh team, so if we're talking about the Welsh team, it's Team Cymru, the University of South Wales, Prifysgol De Cymru, National Library of Wales, Llyfrgell Genedlaethol Cymru, because we're naming something, we don't need the as a prefix. So even though it's the Welsh team, the University of South Wales, you don't need the in there. And that's true even when you're making your sentence structures as well. So if it's a named thing, you don't need the So that's something to remember. So who is the head? Pwy yw prif pennaeth? and that's got an apostrophe R on there, so that's the. Who is the head of school? Pwy yw pennaeth ysgol? We got the again. And then who is the head of Aberheli School? Pwy yw pennaeth ysgol Aberheli? No because we're naming the school. We've got the subject in our head. We know what it is, so we don't bother asking it. So remember that. So you've got the, none. So the head, prif ysgol, head of the school, because it's any school, pwy yw pennaeth ysgol, head of Aberheli School, an actual subject, no or apostrophe R or anything. It says pwy yw pennaeth ysgol Aberheli. Then we looked at putting some questions to answers. So J.K. Rowling yw adwr llyfrau Harry Potter. Pwy yw adwr Harry Potter? No the reader, because we're naming things again. And of course we've got to learn the word oedwr, author. And then we did some angani, which is pronunciation, looking at Bryn Terfel. Mae Bryn Terfel yn dod o bant glas yn Ogledd Cymru yn wreiddiol, ac mae ei wedi gweithio'n galed iawn I lwyddo ym myd opera. But by now, he's travelled the world with the opera. Love it. Erbyn hyn, mae'n canu dros y byd. Aeth e'r coleg yn y Guildhall yn Llundain, ble enillodd fedal aur. Where he won a gold medal. Dechreuodd ei weithio I gwmni opera cenedlaethol Cymru yn 1990, I learned that on Thursday as well, pan ganodd ei gosib fan y twte. Wedyn aeth I weithio yn Brwsel cyn canu yn Figaro yn Covent Garden yn 1992. Ym mis Medi 2011 canodd yn Central Park, Efrog Newydd, o flaen dros 70,000 o bobl. Mae e'n helpu Urdd Gobaith Cymru, Shelter Cymru a chanolfan therapi plant Bobath yng Nghaerdydd. A little bit of my own angani there. Feel free to pick it apart and maybe listen back, see if you can translate it as well. It's all about Bryn Terfel. I hope you enjoy it. Only a couple of weeks left and I got my exam on the beginning of the second week of June. I won't give the date away just yet, but I'll let you know how I get on near the time and how we do. The practice that we're doing for the exams with Bidig Richard is great. And I think we're all feeling quietly confident going into it that we're going to do okay. And of course, we don't have a written part of the exam. It's all going to be reading and speaking. I'm looking forward to it. And looking forward to catching up with you again next week as I come to an end of learning the Mynediad of Learn Welsh with Learn Welsh Pembrokeshire. If you want to catch up with me, drop me a message either on Purist Radio or at Hello Tom Dyer on social media as well. If you've got any questions about learning Welsh, then by all means get in touch and I'll see what I can do for you. Hwyl fawr!